you want to revolutionize your sex life, you need to schedule it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound sexy at all, but you know what? Scheduled sex is better than no sex.
Can I get an amen from all the men out there?
And I think like I mean, you do need to look at your schedule. Like last night we had a small group. The night before we had a small group. Tonight we've got something. So it's like you do need to look at your schedule overall. But it's not like hey, Tuesday at 4. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of schedule. It's saying, okay, like what are your expectations? And I'm not talking about like how many times a month, people. Like step it up. It needs to be how many times a week. That's what you're trying to get to. This is intimacy with your spouse. This is the only thing that your spouse can get from you. He can get accolades. He can get
affirmations, pat on the back, attaboys.
He can get gifts from other people. But this is the one thing that only comes from you. And so when we say the word schedule, it's like, okay, let's look at our week. You know, and some people it's pretty similar, you know, summer's crazy, so you might need to figure it out. But it's like, okay, so for us, we came up with a number, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to put pressure on anybody or, you know.
I think we do need to say it because some people, you're having sex once a month and you think that's good. Like our number is 3 times a week. Like that's like if we're hitting it out of the park. Now, here's the thing, though, and just to like your point, when we're teaching this stuff, it doesn't mean do what Joe and Krissy are doing to a T. It means have the conversation.
Yeah, that's the number that we came up with.
All of this is pushing to conversations of, hey, how can we spice up our sex life?
Yeah.
Do you like it if I wear something? You know?
No, I don't.
I know. Krissy joked the other day. She's like, hey, they got some guy stuff there. She's like, it's leather, chaps. I was like, listen, I don't think you'd like that. I don't think anybody would like that.
Don't knock it.
Yeah. Hey, that might be up your alley. See, that's the thing. That's not for us. It might be for you. So 3 times a week, you might be like, dude, that ain't nothing. I'm looking for 5 times a week, you know? So that's why it's so important to have these conversations.
What was that story of that couple when they came in for counseling?
Oh, yeah.
And the husband,
he wanted more sex.
Okay.
And she said to the counselor, I've been trying. I thought that 7 times a week was good enough.
She said, I thought once a day
was good enough. Thank you.
And he was, the counselor was like, wait, what?
Like, what number are you trying to hit? Like, who's got time for 2 times a day?
I know.
Yeah.
And so you need to have that conversation with your spouse. That's what we landed on because it's what works for us.
And a way that helps with the conversation of the amount of time is also the initiation. Like a way to revolutionize your sex life is like having the initiation conversation. I like that. Revolutionize your sex life. Have the initiation conversation. Here's the thing though. So we know this from Tony Alicia from One
Extraordinary.
I always wanted to say Amazing Marriage, but it's One Extraordinary Marriage. They talk about like having initiation schedule. So it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is him. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is her, and Sunday's off. So it's like having the conversation of who initiates when. And maybe it's even like, this is my whole week to initiate. This is your whole week to initiate. So again, these are just things to talk about to initiate. So I want to know right now, comment below, what's your number? Maybe it's 3 like us. Maybe it's 1. Maybe it's 7. You know, like what's your number? And then have you had the conversation with your spouse about it? Comment below. Just put a number below right now. Comment below. What's your number?
Yeah, it changes in seasons. It changes based on your age. Like there's a lot of factors. So it needs to work for you.
Well, because thinking about revolutionizing your sex life, one thing you have to do is you have to be focused on it because like what you just said, when it comes to seasons, when you have littles in the house, it's hard. When you don't have littles, you could be having sex anywhere you want in the house.
Yeah.
In the living room, on the kitchen table, in the pool, you know, in the shower. Like but for us, it's like we can't until it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard is because then you're tired at bedtime.
Right.
And so that leads actually into our next one, which is so important. And you're really good at this.